Testing, testing. What is up, Niner gang? Another day, another football game. Hope you guys are doing good today. Got a lot to talk about. We just got one game down, 1 week down of the regular season, but we still have a lot to talk about. I'm going to go over a little bit of the loss. I don't want to get into that too much because I know, as fans, we get a little more leeway, but as 49ers in general, we want to move forward, look forward to next week and week 2 of the regular season. So I am going to go over the loss a little bit more just for some of you guys who weren't here and just want to chime in about it a little bit more. Going to talk state of the NFC with Dak Prescott and all things NFC, all things NFL. A little bit of Mitchell, a little bit of Kittle. But before we go forward, guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys can start out by closing down the live chat. Hit the like button, please. And I'll give you guys a second. Go ahead and open up that live chat again, put up the comments again, whatever. Whenever you guys are chiming in, just please like this video first and foremost before we get started with anything. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn my light on. I forgot to do that. There we go. It's a little bit better. But sorry for the clicking as well. But yeah, guys, please like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. I want you guys to participate, man. Throw in some comments on what you guys think on all the topics that we're going through, even topics we don't go through. Bring up some stuff that I don't think to bring on the show sometimes. Definitely helps the show as far as the participation, of course, but just the creativity, the different perspectives we get to bring in. But I think one of the first things we have to go over is if you guys haven't seen my last video that I put up, Elijah Mitchell, he got hurt during the Bears game, and it's been announced today, of course, that that injury was an MCL sprain. And as soon as I seen that MCL, man, just those 3 letters, I got spooked. I'm not gonna lie. You never want to see the letters ACL or MCL associated with any of the players, right? It's very dangerous territory when you're walking that thin line with ACL and MCL. Luckily, it was a strain and not a season-ending injury, MCL tear. So just a sprain, not a tear. But he will be missing about 8 weeks as of right now is the give or take time frame for Elijah Mitchell, our number 1 running back, to miss. Now, the good news on that is week 9 is our bye week for the 49ers on the schedule. We won't be playing week 9, which is around the time that Mitchell should be coming back. So hopefully he'll get to practice that free week, get acclimated back into the offense, and get the ball rolling. And maybe we see him the next week coming into the Chargers game, week 10. Now, I definitely want them, and I hope Kyle Shanahan is watching right now and taking notes, because I've been saying for the past few weeks, take it slow with McGlinchey, take it slow with Jimmy Ward, take it slow with Elijah Mitchell. Like, chill out, man. I didn't like how right away we came into the season and Elijah Mitchell was just coming off injury and you throw him in as a starter with no rotation whatsoever. I guess you can say that Debo and Trey Lance were part of his rotation, but as far as halfbacks go, Elijah Mitchell was the guy in there injured. I didn't see any other running backs except Elijah Mitchell and, of course, Debo Samuel. I'm not counting him though, not just yet. I didn't see Jeff Wilson in there until Elijah Mitchell got taken out with that injury. So what I would like to see going forward, hopefully Shanahan is starting to learn. It seems like he's being very hard-headed about it, and they just need to keep rotating, man. Put one back in for 2 downs and then put another back in. Stop leaning on one guy so much. And it's not just this position. We see this at other positions. We need to see more of a rotation. Don't like to see those injuries. We got a bro in here. Brian Culp, what's up? Niner Gang Wolfcast. Hey, what's up, bro? It's good to see you on here. Actually, I wanted to ask you a question. It's perfect that you came on here because I went over to 49ers QC merch just a little while ago. I was wondering what happened with that, if you can answer that for me, because I went on there, tried to find the website, and it was gone. So if you could answer that for me, let me know. I emailed Grant about it, but he's a hard guy to get a hold of. Um, yeah, man. So as far as the running back stuff, and then like it really bums me out because again, this is another time when Hasty could have been one of those guys to step up. I talked about it before this happened that we have a reputation of our running backs going down. So it would have been nice to have a guy like Hasty that was looking very explosive and reliable, somebody who knows the offense, versus now we're probably going to have to sign somebody to the practice squad that doesn't know this offense. Hasty had years in this offense and looked very good in it. So very unfortunate, man. You don't like to hear all that stuff, but at least we get to see Mitchell this season again at some point, hopefully, as long as everything goes well. Prayers for him and great recovery. Um, yeah, all that type of stuff. And then as far as Kittle, we didn't get to see him in this game, very unfortunately. Like I said, game day decision. They want to keep the Bears on their toes as far as all that stuff. So hopefully we'll see him this week. I haven't seen any announcements on that yet, but very hopeful, man, against the Seahawks. I don't know if you guys are watching the Seahawks game just now. Just ended. Two of our opponents for this next coming 2 weeks, the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson. They squared off today on Monday Night Football. So if you guys didn't watch, I got all kinds of mental notes for you guys. Honestly, both teams looked pretty good, and a lot of people are talking about how Trey Lance didn't score anything this. He didn't really score in this past game against the Bears, but this game with the Broncos and the Seahawks, both teams were looking pretty good. But it was only like a 16 to 17 game. Yeah, 16 to 17 point game. The Broncos scored 16, the Seahawks scored 17, and the Seahawks won. Surprisingly, I'm sure everybody had, just like the 49ers and Bears game, everybody had the 49ers winning that game. Didn't go that way, and same thing with the Broncos, ended up losing when everybody for the most part picked the Seahawks to lose. So very weird things, Vegas odd type stuff going on here, conspiracy theories. But yeah, both teams look very good. I was rooting for Russell Wilson to get the win, but I was pretty surprised by all the animosity from the Seahawks fans. You would think that's a guy that brought them wins and put them in contention for a very long time. A guy like that, if you were on the 49ers, kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo in a way, you can't really compare him to Russell Wilson, I don't think. But just if the roles were reversed and Russell Wilson was leaving the 49ers after all those wins he brought to us, you want to wish him the best. And um, it's very unfortunate to see all the animosity towards Russell Wilson. Um, I'm reading Brian's comment real quick. I don't want to put it on the screen, but yeah. Okay, yeah, let me know, bro, because I actually had a shirt in the cart. So if I can still get that somehow, let me know. But yeah, man, I wish you guys the best. I hope that picks up here soon. You know what's crazy too is with Grant Cohn, it seems like a lot of people watch him that are just haters. Like I've been noticing like he'll have like 20,000 views or something like that and like 400 likes. It's pretty messed up. It's pretty crazy the way this world is. Like if you're watching his videos, you're watching it for a reason. You guys might as well drop a like. That's some hating ass shit. But moving on, man. State of the NFC. You know what? I'm going to talk about first the NFL as a whole, man. This week one of the regular season, in my eyes, everything that I saw was pretty ugly. Um, Pretty much for everybody around the league. Every team was super sloppy, it seemed like. So people want to pick on the 49ers. They want to pick on Trey Lance for whatever reason. It's weird. I'm going to get into more of that later. But you guys keep in mind, if you guys didn't watch all the games, you guys probably shouldn't talk because this is what happens week one of every regular season for the most part. A lot of teams come out sloppy. They're getting acclimated back into everything, and teams are getting to know each other. There's a lot of movement during the off season, so players are getting acclimated with each other, and just like the 49ers, we have a lot of new players, so it's gonna snowball effect in a way. Um, Things are gonna pick up. Don't lose hope. That's gonna be the big thing here. You guys don't lose hope in the 49ers or Trey Lance. Every single team, especially if you guys watch like the Thursday night football game, the Bills against the Rams, very sloppy from the Bills, man. Everybody's picking them to win the Super Bowl. The 49ers, I think the 49ers got ranked third in the power rankings. It all depends on who you ask, but a lot of people are ranking the Bills as the Super Bowl winners this year. They looked very good last year. They came out and they looked pretty great in the first half, but they still had three turnovers in the first half. They still pulled out the win and smashed the hell out of the Rams. That was awesome to see. So high five to the Bills, man. Spank on the butt. But no, for real, man. They looked very sloppy. But they did look very good as well, man. Josh Allen was on point, and that's kind of he get those kind of guys that get helped a lot by those conditions. They were playing in a dome, I believe. Yeah, so the weather conditions were not a factor at all. So you guys be easy on Trey Lance. We're gonna get into that a little more later. But if you guys didn't hear, Dak Prescott got injured, and I didn't actually get to watch the whole Buccaneers and Cowboys game. I wanted to spend some time with my kids. So I ended up just placing some bets real quick, and I kind of just watched a few. I think it was 6-3 when I stopped watching it. And then I saw the end score was 19-3, and I was like, whoa, they shut the Cowboys down. Then I hear afterwards that Dak Prescott broke his hand or something like that. Um, so Dak Prescott underwent surgery today, and he's going to miss about 6 to 8 weeks. And that brings up another point as far as a lot of people are talking about trading Jimmy G over to the Cowboys now. So if you guys want to throw in the comments, I would like to know whether you guys think we should trade Jimmy Garoppolo to the Cowboys. Um, as far as right now, how I feel about that, one thing we saw in this first game was a lot of quarterback power from Kyle Shanahan and Trey Lance. A lot of that was called. I'll get more into that later, but as far as just the injury aspect of it, that just lends Trey Lance into more possibility for getting injured. And so we might need somebody in that number two role, if anything were to happen, to step up and win us some games so that we can keep things rolling. Now, I do believe that one day Brock Purdy can be that guy, but we haven't seen this guy against a starting offense. That's being Brock Purdy. We have seen Jimmy Garoppolo against a starting offense. Now, granted, that's not very flashy. Um, we do get wins with him, but man, it seems like every game that Jimmy Garoppolo plays in and he starts is just super close. Every single time, it's like one of those butt cheek clenching type of games. So I think Brock Purdy can build and become that second guy, but definitely think he needs more reps, those scout team reps, all those type of things. And then I don't think the Cowboys, if it's 6 to 8 weeks, I think they're going to want to go with their second string guy that already knows the offense. As far as Jimmy Garoppolo goes, he would have to go and learn the offense. Um, I know it worked for him when he first came to the 49ers. He was only here for about 2 weeks, and then he ended up starting, or finishing a game and then starting the next few games. So it can be done. Um, I know when that happened, Kyle Shanahan kinda tailored the offense to, what Jimmy Garoppolo was doing with New England a little more, so that helped him out a lot. And not only that, um, the opposing defenses didn't know what the Jimmy Garoppolo plus Kyle Shanahan offense was going to look like. So that plays into it. Can Mike McCarthy do that with Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't think so. But you never know, man. And they might like their chances more with Jimmy Garoppolo. I haven't seen their second string quarterback. I forgot his name. I heard it earlier, but it kind of just flew past my head because that's not a guy I really think we got to know his name just yet. But we'll see. We'll see how he does. We got a comment on Jimmy from Bryant right now, so let's check it out. Jimmy isn't going anywhere at least this season. The Niners want at least a second round pick. And uh yeah, they definitely want a second round pick. And then so if we hold on to if the 49ers hold on to Garoppolo, they for the rest of the season, we get a third round comp pick, I believe it is. So do we wait, take the chances of Trey Lance might get hurt, and we have Jimmy to step up for him, and we get a third round at the end of the year? Sounds pretty sweet, like a pretty sweet deal, right? Plus the contract that Jimmy Garoppolo is under, like I don't know if you can really beat this deal right now. Why would you get rid of him? Um, because of drama? It seems like that's the only reason anybody wants to get rid of him. Maybe some collateral, and that's maybe just about it, just collateral, or because he's here causing drama, even though he's not physically or verbally causing drama. His presence is supposedly causing drama. And third facts. Yeah, yeah. Um, so that was one of the things I wanted to bring up later, but I'll just talk about it now. Speaking of the drama, so before the game started, I was listening to an interview of Jimmy Garoppolo that had just happened like the day before the game, or maybe it came out the day of the game. I forget, but he was talking about he doesn't want to be that distraction. He wants to be a help to Trey Lance if Trey Lance needs him. He said he understands his role. He understands that position as far as he doesn't want to be a backseat driver. If Trey Lance doesn't want his help, he doesn't want to overstep those boundaries. And I don't I want to know if you guys seen this during the game. They cut right before commercial, they cut to a scene of Jimmy Trey Lance had just come to the sideline like very frustrated, pissed off about I forget what, and Jimmy G goes up to him and kind of tries to talk to him about something. And Trey Lance seemed like he was kind of just brushing him off, like ignoring him, and wanted to go sit on the bench. So he definitely seemed, as far as what I saw, he looked like Trey Lance was very irritated with Jimmy Garoppolo trying to talk to him. And it's funny because in that interview, that's exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo was talking about. He didn't want to irritate and overstep those boundaries with Trey Lance. So very funny that it played out in that very first game. Now how far is it going to go? That's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, yeah, see, Brian saw it too. That's awesome, bro. I'm glad you saw that. I should have okay, you know what? Actually, I recorded the game. I know I'm gonna have to scan through like 3 hours of it, but I'm gonna see if I could find that scene, man. I need to post that. If nobody's done it already, I hope nobody else has posted it yet. But let me see. Oh yeah. So another thing, if you guys didn't watch that Seattle game just now, I believe it was the end of the first quarter. Their best safety got hurt in this game. That's Jamal Adams. I think I saw him laying down at the end of the play in the back of the end zone, and it looked like he bent his knee, kind of weird. So we're gonna have to see what happens with Jamal Adams, but it doesn't look as of right now like he's going to be playing against the 49ers this week. So unfortunate for him as a man to man, his injury. I don't want to wish bad amongst other two other people, but it is, when you weigh the pros and cons of the game, that's like basically plus 1.49ers. That gives them a little bit of an advantage at the expense of Jamal Adams' injury. Now, the report hasn't come out yet. It just happened during the game. So we'll probably hear about it tomorrow, especially with them two playing this week. And I'm going to be watching another two of our opponents this week are playing on Thursday. Two of our opponents. I was watching two of our opponents yesterday. The Raiders and the Chargers played. Again, very sloppy game, very low scoring. A lot of low scoring this week, a lot. And a lot of those teams didn't have to deal with the conditions that Trey Lance had to deal with. So I'm going to get into that more later. But all you guys that want to jump on Trey Lance's hating bandwagon, the Trey Lance hate bandwagon, you guys should back off a little bit because most of these teams were low scoring and they had great conditions. Again, another one's the Seahawks and Broncos. Russell Wilson, 16 points. He was getting to the red zone and just couldn't score today. Let's see what Brian has to say right here. I don't think it was Jimmy talking to him that bothered him. I think it was the play on the field. Yeah. See, I think what it was because I try to be more patient and more like self-aware of how my temper is and stuff like that. But I think it was a mixture of both. When things aren't going your way and you have somebody um in your eyes when you're mad, you kind of take it as backseat driving. So I think it was just a mixture of the two. Of course, I'm sure Trey Lance was very frustrated with the way things were playing out, and very unfortunate that that's the way we saw it play out. Man, a lot of people want to rag on him, but the way I saw it, he was actually the one carrying our team from the offensive as perspective of it. If I'm being honest, just from what I saw, because after Elijah Mitchell left the game, we just could not do anything in the run game. It seemed like the Debo thing, as I've said since last year, whenever Debo's on the field, is just way too obvious he's getting the ball. Typically, 90% of the time, it's going to Debo. He's going to run around and over to the sideline. Cheers to the Niner gang. But yeah, man, the way I saw it, Trey Lance was doing very good things. And the offense wasn't doing very much, but definitely a bad camera scene. Yeah, man, the media is definitely going to be picking on Trey Lance and the 49ers. Everybody knows how much of a cash cow the 49ers are for the NFL. And this is just more drama to add to it, and drama sells. So um, I was actually thinking about keeping score during that game because I was writing down notes during the whole game, and I was thinking about keeping score, like tally marks of every time they were cutting to Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline and or talking about him. But I didn't end up doing that. So, but surprisingly, I didn't notice him too much on the screen. So it's kind of a good thing. They didn't pick on Trey Lance too much. But so yeah, back again to Thursday night football is going to be Chargers versus the Chiefs on Thursday. Um so we got to keep an eye on that. A very short week for the chart. Well, actually very short week for both of these teams. The Chiefs just beat the Cardinals, so that was nice for our division. Now, as far as for the Chiefs Super Bowl chances and playoff chances, I don't like to see that. I can't stand the Chiefs. The Chargers played the Raiders. Like I said, very ugly game on that side as well. They got out to a quick lead and then kind of sputtered out against the Raiders and ended up being like a last minute game, very low scoring. The Chiefs whooped the Cardinals, but those two guys are playing this week, Chargers and the Chiefs. So you guys, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. You guys should keep an eye on that too. Just get a look at our opponents going forward because we're playing those teams and as well as the Raiders and the Broncos. But one thing I want to watch also is the Bears and Packers are going to play on Sunday. So you guys keep an eye. See, because I'm curious to see. To me, this game was a fluke. All all kudos and everything to the Bears, but if I'm being honest, man, uh, I think you guys all know this game was handed to them in a way. Too many mistakes in crucial moments, and I'm very curious to see how the Bears do against the Packers, who they're playing on Sunday. And I did pick the Vikings to beat the Packers this past week, and sure enough, that happened. They whooped on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. One of the reasons I picked the Vikings was because they've been together for a while, and Aaron Rodgers is getting basically a new receiving core. They're adding a lot of new guys, so they're kind of getting acclimated with each other and they don't have Devonte Adams anymore. So that's another big piece of the puzzle that's missing there. So I think they're going to take a while if they get things going. I think it's going to take them a while to get that ball rolling. So that's why I picked the Vikings. But all that animosity between Bears and Packers fans, excited to see that and just kind of analyze what's going on with the Bears. If they're really as badass as some people think they are now all of a sudden because they beat the Niners in a very lucky game for them, I feel like. But after the whole week one, I want to know how you guys feel. If you guys could throw that in the comments, please. I also did throw the link for the call in. You guys can call in. I'll go ahead and throw that in the comments again. But yeah, if you guys would like to call in and give some of your thoughts, I'm gonna copy and paste the link into the comments right now. But if not, then go ahead and just comment your thoughts after the week one of the whole NFL, the week one of the 49ers. What you guys think? All right. But as I said earlier, there were a lot of good things that we saw in this game, right? And I want to move on to the matchup against the Seahawks for this coming week because we don't want to linger on this loss too much. But I do want to go over it a little bit, a little bit more before we move on. We did see a lot of good things, man. Like I said earlier, we saw a lot of good things from Lance. Everybody wants to hound on him. When it came time to him having to win the game, I don't think anybody in those circumstances can outright win the game with their arm. If you guys didn't watch the game, um, man, it's just pouring. Um, yeah, if I want to know, can you guys name one quarterback who you guys think is elite or would even look somewhat elite in those kind of conditions? Name just one. I would like to know because I don't think any quarterback can look good in those conditions, man. It was pouring down like somebody was hosing down every single player on the field. But we got a caller in now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add him to the stream. One of my very good Niner gang friends. What's up, Brian? How's it going, bro?
Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing good, bro. Honestly, I'm kind of happy for the Seahawks a little bit. Everybody picked them to be last in the division, and it's just hilarious how it's all playing out. How they're number one in the division now. So it's pretty funny. I'm in good spirits, but still, F the Seahawks.
Yeah, most definitely. It's very weird week one, but week one's like that normally. Some teams get off to a good start, and then next week they don't do so good, and then after two, three more weeks, we'll start seeing who the real teams are and stuff. So, but
Yep.
I'm not really happy with how we ended our preseason with not scoring any points, and now we come into this game and we had a good defense at first, and the offense was running the ball a little bit, but we weren't scoring points. And yeah, when you're over dominant, it looks great, but when you let a team stick around and all they need is a couple scores, quick scores, and they can beat you. Yeah, I just didn't like that.
Yeah. So one of the things I didn't like is because with somebody with like Justin Fields, I feel like he's gonna get his at some point. He's too creative, he's too athletic and gifted that I think he was just gonna get something at some point. And so for us to not be scoring and playing so conservative on offense, Kyle Shanahan putting some blame on you, guy, especially on that 4th down and 1, that pissed me off so bad, man. We're midfield, um, we're up very by a very small margin, and we can get our momentum back at midfield with a 4th and 1. Trey Lance had been he had been doing quarterback sneaks and quarterback powers on like 3rd and 3 and getting 3-4 yards. You're telling me you can't get 1 yard? We need to get that momentum back.
Well, I think it was the penalty he threw. Was it he threw it to Ayuk, and then we were like 13 yards back, and then he ran for 13 yards and got the first down. I mean,
See that? Yeah.
he has the ability to do it. They're just not putting it together.
Yeah,
But
it's scary when it comes to the injury aspect of it, but yeah, it was badass to see though, man. That was one of the things I had written down as well, the 3rd and 13. Man, that was beautiful.
but
And he
the
yeah,
one
go
thing
ahead.
that I want to say is like there was a point, because like you were saying, you've seen some stuff with the cameras and stuff, and they always get those like movie star images, those like photo perfect images, and get somebody to start talking. But there was a point on the field when the Bears had the ball and Justin Fields had the ball. He was under center. He was calling out his cadence, and he looked left, and he smiled. It was like he smiled at the camera. And at that point, I was like, it was like third quarter, and I was we're not going to win this game. He had the confidence, and I'm not saying Trey didn't have the confidence, but Trey looked too calm out there,
You think Trey looked too calm?
too calm. Justin Fields, he was there was a fire burning inside him. He wanted to,
Yeah.
win the game, and he kept just extending the plays, and then the next thing you know, it's like they're winning. And Trey's doing great. He can throw the ball 80 yards. And I know it was a wet game, but when you can't throw 5 yards or those easy Jimmy passes, that's gonna hurt us in the future. It's
Yeah.
really gonna hurt. And
Yeah.
I think it was he threw it to Kyle Juszczyk at the it was like at the bottom of the sideline, and he overthrew him, and he threw it behind him and overthrew him. And you got those are the ones that we have to have.
Yeah.
You can't run every time. You have to be able to pick up the short yard passes. And I don't know. Hopefully, this game against the Seahawks will be a little bit better, and the crowd will be behind him for sure. And hopefully, he'll be pumped, because I think that's what he needs. He needs to be pumped.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. See, when you brought that up, I kind of had a flashback because one of the things I feel like he's doing is I think he's overcompensating in a way, as far as like I think he's trying too hard to look too calm and just hide his actual emotions for the
Hmm.
cameras and stuff like that. I think he's trying to do that like consciously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that plays into that, and then, of course, the offense was very vanilla as the way I saw it. Too much running. When they were taking shots, they were having some success. Yeah, a couple of them got away from Lance, but we're seeing some good things. Of course, the Ayuk pass. Oh man, the Ray McLeod one.
Yeah, everything deep looks good, but
Yeah,
when it's like 10 yards or 14 yards, it's just a little off. And I know the weather was something to do with it, but if everybody was listening in preseason to all the reports and stuff, his short accuracy is an issue.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's going back to last year for sure. Just his velocity, of course, as well. And his in the fourth quarter, I think that's when he definitely looked flustered. Um, it was kind of irritating me that he looked like he was taking those passes too quickly. He was rushing them, even though he still had time in the pocket. He was throwing the ball because he felt it looked like he was flustered. When usually he does look poised, and like you said, he looks too calm sometimes. I feel like the fourth quarter was very unlike him.
And I think the whole team in the fourth quarter kind of felt like we're not going to pull this out. It was like 6 minutes, and I didn't see the spark or the energy or the magic, you want to say that, hey guys, we can do this. It was
Yeah,
like, let's just go out there and let's just run these plays off and get out of here. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I think, they're a better team than that, but I
yeah,
don't know. I don't think they don't have confidence in it because I heard a couple other people say, well, he got sacked a couple times and the Niners didn't go over and pick him up. His lineman didn't pick him up. And, you know, sometimes you got to let a guy get up off the field by himself too, and see what he's made out of too.
yeah,
Not that you believe in him, but you got to see when the guy gets hit, he's got to get up. If he can't get up, then he can't take the hit. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, once again, it was a really weak, really, really weak one. Looking forward to week two. Week three is going to be interesting. Those are probably the two biggest games of our next probably 8 games that are going to be huge right there.
Yeah,
Um,
man, we need to get some momentum, and I'm very eager to get some better conditions and see what Trey Lance proves to everybody in better conditions. That's definitely what I want to see.
well, hey man, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna jump off, and I'll try to join you next time you have a show. And once again, everybody trust the process. It's 17 weeks. We got 16 more games, playoffs if we're doing good, and championship if we were doing better. So everybody just stay faithful. Thanks
Let me
again,
see your
man.
hat. Let me see your hat real quick and the shirt.
Okay, it's just
Yeah,
the residency hat, and then my shirt's just the classic 49er, big old
yeah,
logo.
it's looking
But
fresh, bro. Right on. Well, yeah, I need to get some of your guys' shirts as well. So,
well, if you
if you
got my
can let
email, just hit me up on my email, or we can talk later, and we can go from there. But,
okay, I don't have your email, but if you want
I'll
to
drop
shoot
it
it to
in.
me.
Yeah, I'll drop it in
Okay.
the chat, and then you just email me when you get a chance, and we'll correspond that way. So
All right, for sure, bro. Thank you for
thanks,
coming
man.
on. Take care.
Stay.
Oh shit. Whoops. Cut him off a little early there. But yeah, guys, just like I was talking about with Brian, a lot of good things, a lot more they could have done. But Kyle Shanahan seemed to have been holding the 49ers offense back a little. And I think there's a lot more we could have done, like I just said, but it just wasn't. That wasn't the case. Too much running, not enough chances were taken, and then when they were taken, it was after the basically the monsoon hurricane started rolling, and the whole field is getting poured down on. And at that point, if I'm speaking from my own emotion during the game, it was almost hopeless. It's like, what can you even do? It's like the only thing you can do in these type of conditions in the fourth quarter is basically run. Like it's almost not possible to have a passing game, and it didn't look good with Trey Lance. Just looked very flustered in that rain. Um, and a lot of people were talking about, oh well, he's from Minnesota and he played in North Dakota. He should have been used to playing in the rain. How long has it been since he's played in the rain? First and foremost, when was that, right? So that thing is not going to come back overnight, guys. He didn't get to practice in Santa Clara in the rain, except for maybe one day. I think it did have some drizzles out there, but it wasn't anything like what they played in on Sunday. So you guys need to lay off. We need to be able to well, at least the people that are criticizing him very badly and asking for Jimmy Garoppolo back. I do not understand that at all. As like for me, I wanted Trey Lance after the basically after I saw Trey Lance in that Texans game, I felt like we should have kept that ball rolling, let that snowball effect play a factor, and let Trey Lance and the team get some momentum together. It didn't happen that way, and we got to see Jimmy Garoppolo the way he plays, and for me, it wasn't very attractive at all, man. I felt like the team was dragging him along and he wasn't playing a role. I know he does during the regular season typically, but in the playoffs, he does not show up. And we need somebody who shows up and is a difference maker in the playoffs. Now, we haven't gotten to see that from Trey Lance this season yet, but for those of you who are going off about it already, relax. Wait till you see him in decent conditions, okay? So, yeah, there was that, and then, I did think there was too much blame on the defense. The offense as well very much. It seemed like everything kinda just started to crumble as a whole, the whole team. They didn't play too much in the preseason. That might have played a factor in basically the whole scheme of things. So maybe next year we need to play some more preseason. And who was it? I think it was our buddy Pro Gamer, was it? That was talking about the 6 preseason games. Or you know what? I think it was Brian actually. Going back to yeah, it was Brian. Going back to 6 preseason games like we did back in the day. But something needs to be done, man. We need to get the ball rolling sooner than this. I know week 1 is rough for a lot of people, a lot of teams, but um I don't want to be one of those teams that comes out rough. Hey man, sorry to hear about the loss. It is a long season, so there's still plenty of football left. Yep. Yeah, like you said. Good to see you here, Steven, as well. Thank you. Um, as far as Mitchell goes, yeah, at least we get to see him this season again at some point. It sucks that we're not going to have him back there, but we'll probably get to see Jordan Mason play, and it's good to be able to see what all the hype is about. Now, hopefully, they just keep rotating these guys, man, and keep them fresh. Ty Davis Price as well. He'll probably be that power back as well as Jeff Wilson Jr. But we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna get to see him during the Seahawks, most likely. Jordan Mason. Um, now, Ty Davis Price was listed as the non-active running back, so very curious to see how that plays out. That means Jordan Mason is the guy in the second spot behind Jeff Wilson Jr. now until Elijah Mitchell comes back. So very curious to see how this plays out with the running backs and who kind of takes that step forward. Um, we got all that hype with Mason, so just want to join in and say hi. Hey, great job with the updates and live streams. Hey, Steven, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Brian. Um, what was that other bro's name? JT. Everybody that tunes in, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Got a lot of love for my Niner gang, and oh man, this is okay, so I joined Facebook. Brian, it was you. Yeah, that's what it was a while back, bro. That's why I have a really rough memory. I told you I took a lot of shots to the head. But yeah, so I joined a 49ers fan group in Facebook, and man, it's crazy to see the back and forth with 49er fans, man. I'm like, guys, we're supposed to be family. What the hell's going on here? I always thought we had the best fan base in football, man, and it's kind of not starting to look that way from what I see in that fan group. So it's really weird, man. And I'll like post my videos, the links to my videos, my live streams, all that stuff in the Facebook, the 49ers group for life. And I think there's like 200,000 members or something like that. It's something crazy. And these guys don't give me a single like or anything. No love for the fellow Niner gang. It's crazy, man. But back to the Bears game, man. Just overall, like we shot ourselves in the foot. Of course, you guys know that's a big narrative. Everybody knows that. I feel like everybody knows and feels, at least the people that actually know what they're watching understand that the 49ers were the better team. We just made the mistakes in the crucial moments, and just, man, the difference in the penalties, of course. If you guys don't know, we had like 11 penalties for like 100 yards versus the Bears 3 penalties for like 30 yards or something like that, something low. So, but it wasn't just that. When you take that into perspective with when the penalties were made, it was just in the worst times. Everything just was in the worst time for us. The rain, the penalties, the turnovers, all that stuff was the worst timing possible. Facebook Niner groups are crazy. I'm telling you guys, man, it's weird to me. It's crazy how negative people are. I don't understand it. Like I don't understand who wants to live in a world like that. It's very weird to me. You got to be the change you want to see, right? That's the way I see things. And so, like I said earlier, I self-reflect. I know my temper. I have a hard time with that type of stuff. It's a very slow process for me, but even me with my issues and everything, I'm looking at these people like, what the hell's going on with you guys, man? We're all Niner fans. We should be happy about and excited for what's to come. Don't be so negative. It's weird. I understand the love for Jimmy G, but doesn't mean you got to show hate, right? um yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. We're gonna play the Seahawks at 1 o'clock on well, I'm in Arizona time. I think that's four o'clock Eastern time. So whatever your time zone is for Arizona, and I think California as well is going to be like a 1 o'clock. So yeah, Seahawks. If I were you guys, I would watch the Chargers and Chiefs on Thursday, the Bears and Packers on Sunday as well. The Bears and Packers one is kind of just a for fun one, and just see how the Packers do after losing week one, because that's another team that a lot of people are picking to go into the playoffs, right? So we got to see if they get put to the test by Justin Fields, man, because he can make some stuff happen. And I know the Niners defense was doing pretty good against him, but I think the elements played a big role in him having some success. So seeing him in some better elements as well against Aaron Rodgers is going to be pretty interesting. And I think the Bears, I know they looked very rough against us, but I think they have the potential to get that ball rolling as well and be a contender. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys are some naysayers, I want to hear it, or some yay sayers. But yeah, we're playing the Seahawks. I said they looked good today. Um, their offense was rolling, man. They didn't score a lot. They only scored 17 points against the Broncos, but the Broncos are known to have a very good defense, and the Seahawks were looking very like they were gelling very well. They're in very good rhythm. Geno Smith is he's looking very good, man. That guy has a lot of experience. He's been in the league since I think 2013 to 2014 and played under some really good elite quarterbacks. And he talked about how he's gained a lot of experience and knowledge from those guys, and he just kept working at it. And he's getting his chance now, and it shows. Even though he hasn't been a starting quarterback really per se, just his poise and him being in the league and working under these other guys for so long, you can tell it had an impact on his game, and he looks very good. He doesn't look like he's lost. He looks very poised and like he knows what he's doing in that Seahawks offense. So I can understand why Pete Carroll wanted to go with Geno Smith over Jimmy Garoppolo making that trade. Um, so you guys, the Seahawks are no slouch. I know everybody's picking them to be last in the division, but after what I saw from today, the 49ers better be on game. I hope they were watching this game, and I hope they're ready to whoop some ass. I hope they're ready to bring their A game, man, because it looked like in the second half, as well as with everything that happened, I think it happened because the Niners started slouching and they took this team for granted. Talanoa Hufanga being a big example of this. You know, the first half, man, I was like, oh my God, Hufanga, he's out there looking like a Troy Polamalu Jr. I had a Raiders fan watching the game with me as well. He's like, yeah, man, he looks like him. Like, this guy's a baller, bro. And yeah, dude, first half. Second half comes around and he's giving up plays, looking like a completely different player. So it seemed like a lot of the team, except for a couple of like most of the veterans, like what I really liked from what I saw was Fred Warner, man. He really looked like a captain out there. If I'm being honest, the other two linebackers, the other two very good linebackers we have, Greenlaw and Alshire were out there causing penalties and stuff like that. Fred Warner was over taking them to the side, talking to them. He wasn't committing those penalties. He was looking very good, man. Overall, everybody made mistakes in this game, but I loved what I saw from Fred Warner as a leader, man. Got to have that type of stuff on both the offense, the defense, and special teams. So everybody take a page out of his book. And some of the other guys, even if I didn't mention them, um, Sam Womack almost had a pick six in the first quarter. Oh, very first play of the game, actually. Sam Womack almost had a pick six. And if you guys don't remember, those were two of my breakout players for the defense was Sam Womack and Talanoa Hafunga. And sure enough, these guys were poised to have very breakout games. And Sam Womack was going to come out right out of the gate and have a pick six. Just missed it. And of course, Talanoa Hafunga had a very breakout half of the game, but we need it for the whole game. So I was half right on both of those picks. We got Homeboy in the comments. What up, bro? Is JT from Oklahoma? Niners going to be okay? I think they'll beat Seattle, Denver, and LA. Keep it up, bro. Keep pushing through. I'm trying to make Denver tailgate and go to Atlanta and watch it. Yeah, good to hear from you, JT. I hope everything's going well. I'm trying to make that game as well in Denver. I told my Raiders fan homie that I work with. I told him after, because it's in 2 weeks. If I get a good paycheck or if I'm doing good on money, then I'm gonna try and make that game as well. So we're gonna see. I gotta check out the tickets again, and hopefully link up with you at the tailgate. I hope you're doing good, man. Good to hear from you. Now, as far as we beat Seattle, Denver, and LA, we definitely can. We can beat all three of those teams and sweep them all. But they're not looking like slouches at all. With Russell Wilson and the Broncos, they were very much in that game against Seattle. Both teams looked very good, but with Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, it seemed like they were doing really good up to a point where they get into the red zone and they're about 10 yards away and they would just sputter out. So that was the problem they were having. They're probably going to clean that up. If I know Russell Wilson like I think I do, he's going to clean that up with his teammates. Same thing with every other team. Everybody's trying to get acclimated with each other. But yeah, I hope the 49ers take these games very seriously. Like I see these games, the potential they have to be. All three of these teams can be a problem, but we can whoop all their asses. But we got to be on game. We got to be on point. Hafunga is going to be a stud, and Womack had a few off-place plays in wrong position, being a rook. Yeah, I know I saw him off one of the runs to the far right. He missed a tackle, but and you know what? Actually, I saw the same play from K'Wan Williams today during the game, Broncos and Seahawks. But the difference was K'Wan Williams did not miss that tackle. So very interesting to see these guys. They're very young. They're going to learn. And hopefully Hafunga takes big note of this, of you got to finish a game, man. You got to play the whole game. You can't get ahead of yourself. I think he let his head get too big. Man, his family was probably getting super hyped and hyping him up as well if they could text him or anything like that. Who knows how many family members were in the stands right behind them. But yeah, I think he got very big-headed and slacked off in the second half. Little too full of himself. Yeah, get your Bowman autograph. I think $50 or $100 ticket for the game for me. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. Oof, man, imagine if you can get I mean, Bowman can't take anything away from that. That's badass. Imagine if you get Bowman and Willis in the same tailgate. That'd be badass. Get both of their signatures. The receiver leaked away on him and got open for a big play. Was that you're talking about Dante Pettis? Or I think you're talking about Hafunga with I forget his first name, but St. Brown of the Chicago Bears. If I'm being if I'm correct. I think that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, because if that's the one you're talking about, yeah, it was a touchdown. That was whack. Oh, Womack. Okay. Yeah, he's talking about Womack. Yeah, man. Like I said, both guys made mistakes. They're both very young. I think just this whole team is going to snowball affect each other. They're going to build momentum, and like we've seen in other years, just roll into the playoffs and make a lot of noise. Um, and those did too. You're talking about, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's too many mistakes to name in this game. That's the unfortunate part, that we beat ourselves. So that sucks very much. But we did see a lot of good things. And the Niners, these are things that can be cleaned up very easily. I hope the coaching staff takes this way more seriously than what they sounded like in those press conferences. Kyle Shanahan seems to shrug a lot of this stuff off, and his huge ego comes out, and he just thinks like he's too good to make any corrections. It seems like he's still making mistakes that he's been making for the past few years. So come on, Kyle Shanahan, get out of your own way, man. I know you want a legacy. Get out of your own way. You damn straight they will hold our faith. Hell yeah, bro. Yep, definitely feel that. So yeah, Niner faithful. Niner gang, Niner faithful. Hey, so I think I'm gonna call this video on that note. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Much love to all you guys. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the week. And I'm gonna try and get on tomorrow if I can. Definitely after that Chargers and Chiefs game. We're gonna stay tuned with all the 49ers news and chats and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Hopefully I'll be on with some of these other guys soon. And Brian, I appreciate you for calling in, bro. Much love to all you guys. Like I said, hope you have a great rest of the week, and hope you guys tune in again, man. You guys take care.